that they're really head-to-head with the meta game going on right now, and they always look to try and find the out-of-the-box solutions to these things. But I really want to talk back onto CFU gaming as well, right? Other than that meta, that with the unorthodox picks that you mentioned before, it's interesting. Do you think that if CFU gaming continue to go for their style, which is team fight heavy centric kind of play style in the game, DEWA United can level that out?
Okay, the question here is, let's put it this way, right? DEWA United, we don't really have a lot of elements here. They have the element of surprise. CFU, however, can play some meta-related surprises. So I would say when it comes to play styles, it is still in a gray area for both sides. But I want to see how CFU gaming is going to be prioritizing in these openings here. Are they going to play a more split push composition, or are they going to play the traditional front-to-front where we see a lot of Fredrin and Martises? But, however, let's take a look at the drafts here. CFU gaming going to be on the blue side, and DEWA United going to be on the red side.
Okay, so it's clear here, and it seems like all of the teams that are going up against Indonesia, they will ban that Kadita out. Now, Fanny also as well here. Pretty textbook, all right, very prio. DEWA United does not want to deal with Arlet here, so still though, a lot of prios. Perhaps the mages here are going to be up for grabs, such as the Yves, such as the Novaria has not been touched.
There's a fun fact regarding CFU gaming is that they really need to be able to open up for Wadu. Wadu needs to be able to win his lane, clear as fast as possible in order for him to rotate and have an impact on these other lanes. And hence you can actually see that kind of respect coming in from DEWA United with the Arlet being taken away from them. So that's kind of the edge that DEWA United has, right? So CFU gaming, they're kind of just playing it blind. They're going for the Kadita, which is quite just it's conventional against the Indonesian teams, like you mentioned, with the Fanny and the Novaria. So they don't have a lot of information onto DEWA United as of yet.
Yeah, to add a little bit more point as well here, because of the fact that XP laners is going to be a priority, I feel like DEWA United, they can go for the Joy pickup, which is something that they should be taking it away, but in this case, they do take it out, means that CFU Gaming can look to pry on this Valentina or the Fredrin, which is something that Lanaya is very comfortable at playing at. It seems like CFU Gaming, they know this, they've seen him play it in the previous season, they are going to pick it up themselves. A pretty safe one as well.
Yeah, I mean, quite low percentage though, right? Win rate wise here, the Fredrin, 38%. But it seemes like, yeah, players, teams, they still prioritize Fredrin because it's so reliable in getting the neutral objectives. But we see a theme here, right? The theme here today, it's just Fredrin versus Lancelot, right? If not banned out, it's just Fredrin, Lancelot, and Martis in that jungle position. And again, it's going to be repeated. It's going to repeat itself. With that Valentina, though, we saw what Krite did earlier with the Valentina. Hopefully this time, the mid lane keys can replicate that same gameplay.
Yeah, the first Savage here in SPS Challenge season. So, very scary hero. The fact that you utilize the Valentina to be able to be more flexible when it comes down to gameplay. You utilize someone's ultimate depending on the situation. It's just the power that Valentina has. CFU Gaming therefore need to be very careful, I believe, when it comes down to picking up heroes that are ultimate reliant, like the Kaja. Okay. Risky, but I like it. Beatrix is going to be an addition to that.
Yeah, when it comes to this kind of scenarios here, I guess getting the Beatrix isn't too bad, considering that, maybe DEWA United might consider playing a double mage composition. But I really like that they're taking this approach very, very slow, because this kind of enables DEWA United to have options to counter pick here, right? I was expecting maybe, hey, they can bring in Faramis as well from DEWA United if they go for the double mage setup, which Indonesia now has been very popular in today's games, or in yesterday's as well. But having this Valentina kind of gives them the option, hey, Divine Judgment, it's okay. I can take advantage of this situation and kind of capitalizes to my favor. Glue isn't too bad, but no, they go for the Grok to try and zone them out, which is something that I think can kind of annoy the Fredrin if you think about it.
I like this. I like the Grok pickup from DEWA United. They are respecting CFU Gaming. Wadu is known to utilize Grok in that EXP lane with an assassin emblem, something that we see similar as well here in MPL ID. So they're taking it away, respecting Wadu, and now the question is, how are they going to gain control of that EXP lane? Coming to the second phase, the Eve already the takeaway. Claude is going to be the answer back from the side of CFU Gaming, and that actually does start to limit the heroes for the gold lane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite surprised. Sure, you take that you take it away from the side of CFU, but the Claude will be banned out. So they need to somehow dig themselves, right? What marksman am I going to play here? Going up against Beatrix, fairly strong in that early game. Perhaps the Brody comes to mind, but not really meta in this current situation. No, DEWA United seems like they are going to limit their mage. They're going to commit on towards a mage ban here. Perhaps I'm looking at Feramis ban might come through. If not, perhaps a Farsa. But DEWA United with this Rock, it's going to enable his team, right? Looking for that aggressive facilitator.
I agree with what you're saying as well, but I'm surprised they actually banned the glue. I was about to call out that, hey, DEWA United could bring in the glue and just force ban the Feramis, but I guess it's just not worth playing this kind of compositions because Valentina, as of yet, has a lot of toolkits to work with. Divine Judgment is great, but if giving the Count Altar to a CFU Gaming, I doubt they would take it, but if they decide to go for it right here, right now, like you said as well, XP drop isn't too bad as a matchup to kind of wait it out, but the question here is they just didn't want to take a risk because they don't know what kind of XP matchup is going to be coming up. I think Lapu Lapu is a pretty safe one if they want to go for it, but no, they bring the Melissa expecting that CFU might go for the Feramis as well.
So they're trying to somehow deny the clump up approach from side of CFU because the Melissa does very well going up against that approach. So a lot of work here on this Kaja. Why? Because Lancelot will definitely target that Beatrix in the backside. Kaja needs to provide cover, but then again, Kaja will need to initiate that Melissa. With that go away, it's going to be very tough for Kaja here in this particular game.
Yeah,
so that actually brings me to the next piece of the puzzle for the side of CFU, right? What mage are they going for? If they're looking for mid control, I think they need something that, okay, I was thinking about something like the Farsa, but the Xavier actually gets picked up here. Yes, you're right. It is a debut, and it's worrisome for me in a sense, right? Xavier is great. Xavier is great like the Novaria, being that it's very long range, but it's very vulnerable in the backline if the cover isn't right. DEWA, they do have a chance now to kind of answer that backline coming in from CFU.
You know, at the same time, I was very surprised with this pickup as well because I was expecting like the Forza, but I feel like now with the Grok XP being in play, it feels like it is a little bit better coming from DEWA United to kind of split this off, but at the same time, is this actually an XP? Yeah, it is an XP coming from Dixon.
Yeah, so it's clear it potentially can be Assassin Emblem, but with this draft, I gotta go with the side of DEWA United. They have enough feel, they have more damage, but they will be activated in that mid game.
Very interesting. I'm thinking about this, right? How it's gonna work out. I don't think that Xavier has better wave clear than the Valentina either, so it's tough. So you're going for DEWA? Okay, I see, baby. DEWA as well. Okay, 2-0 on the caster desk. I'm wondering, no, on the analyst desk. Now I'm wondering what the casters have to say about this. Who are you for? CFU or DEWA? Guys, take it away.
Dan Kubanga and Frederick Loho here at your service. We're about to call this best of three between DEWA and CFU Gaming. Frederick, how we feeling?
I think after looking at the drafts, DEWA United, it feels like they have a more, dynamic draft where they can play different styles, and CFU Gaming, they're really doubling down on front to back.
And what exacerbates the situation is Uranus on Wadu, this old hero in the XP lane known for its dead lane antics throughout the early, mid to late, even the ultra late, makes it all the more worse because again, DEWA can go balls to the wall. They can just go as fast as they want to, especially with all of their on-demand CC.
Ultra mid to late composition is what CFU Gaming are banking on right now. The fact that Wadu, Z, and Zing need to wait for a big power spike, but Ahmed Rice with a good iron hook instantly to start off the game. Flamesy and Z, they're going to have a bad time in the next few minutes to get through this laning phase.
This duo by Z and Z here, get it? Is for the, as you mentioned, ultra late. The Kaja's not going to do much, even with a solid Divine Judgment plus Mystic Field. They're lacking damage. And see, it happened. They started it up about 15, 20 seconds ago, and they finished it up. Z here, he needs to scale up, but not like this. Now Zing's in trouble.
Phantom Execution onto the back. Doesn't even need the iron hook to connect, but it's still Another assist, another kill given over to DEWA United Esports, who can push the tempo all the way from the start.
Good news is CFU Gaming is living up to their Blacklist-esque identity, right? This is a very Blacklist Prime lineup looking at it now. But bad news is it's not going to do well against the very 2023 lineup that DEWA has drafted. We were talking about this off the air. You mentioned that Lanaya is a jungle TAM specialist, but he's playing the current metagame. He has picked up the jungle Lancelot that is currently rocking a jungle emblem, and it is going to be a pick off up top.
Oh, good wild charge earlier by Dixon as the Appraiser's Wrath comes down from Detective. Wadu just trying to buy some time here, trying to zone Lanaya away from the first turtle in this game. But Rice comes in with the Bloody Hunt, locks Wadu down. Consecration going to be popped right now as Lanaya dashes across the place. Divine Judgment coming in, and it's Z who finds it. Detective jumping back in. Rice, no flicker, and he should fall here. CFU Gaming on the board.
Ooh. As messy as it may be, CFU Gaming, an amazing reset and way to recover from that early blunder. And yeah, we talked about them going ultra late, but if DEWA United Esports does fumble, CFU can punish. For those who don't know, CFU Gaming was the first of the grand finals of the recently concluded MPL KH Spring 2023 season. So yeah, they beat Burn X Flash to the punch. It's just that on that day, Burn was the better team, but here CFU Gaming is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Keys very low. It's knocked up in the taunt. Oh, Amin Rice to the rescue.
Force the Flicker still, though, so it's another big resource burnt out by DEWA United Esports. That certainly will give CFU the right space and the right tempo to take the next few minutes into the game to force out that mid-game power spike. They need to start playing through this Beatrix.
Yep, we haven't really covered and talked about what the gold lane matchup is looking like, mainly because no one is there, but here's a big hook.
Bloody Hunt locking him down. Keys also with the Divine Judgment, utilizing it now. Lanaya with a puncture and a Phantom Execution onto the back. Z still having the Mystic Field, holding onto it, just walks back knowing he can't take this fight, but maybe now with the sprint, they want to go for the re-engage. Two-man Mystic Field, Lanaya going to be chained down. That's the Thorn Rose, no puncture, but the Dawning Light comes through to pick up the kill. Another snipe, but the wild charge from Dixon right onto Z will definitely give him some trouble, but still able to walk away right now as Dixon is unable to walk him down. Another Iron Hook connecting onto Zing. Appraiser's Wrath onto the midst. Rise now running away, but the Divine Judgment locks him down, and it's Wadu with a double and another, a 3-4-0.
That was a big, long, and extended team fight that who would have thought would come out this early on. Not even during the second turtle. And this is perfect timing for CFU Gaming. They capitalize on the fact that DEWA United Esports understands that they have to go really fast, and they let them into that false sense of security, and now they're going to secure a turtle. This is amazing. CFU sitting about 1,500 gold lead with 4 minutes in. This is quick. This is very fast.
With a mid to late game composition, Septiawan now dealing some damage with a very good Iron Hook. Z caught in that muddle, and Septiawan picks up a kill, but it's a traded back kill instantly for the side of CFU Gaming, finding the roamer. Now Zing trying to get the most out of the situation by getting a few good hits onto the turret shield.
This may be the highest kill scoring game in first 5 minutes we've ever seen in the SPS challenge season so far. This is amazing. Looking at these early builds throughout the chaos, you can see that at least ZX3 or ZZZ has, even after 2 deaths, built up his COD, right? It's pretty solid, it's pretty good. But look at who's really making bank here. Look at Wadu, but wait, they got a catch.
Appraiser's Wrath and the Mystic Field. There was a defensive wild charge, but it will not really help him there. The burst was too much, and the fact that Z already does this much damage early on, it's a big problem. Divine Judgment, that's a snipe from downtown from Zing, and just the basic attacks to wreak havoc.
Whoa.
Now, it's another dive. No Divine Judgment, though. Seption might be able to outplay this. Now with the Inspire, Flamesy going to be caught low as the go-away shoves Detective back away. Zing looking for range, but will not be able to find it right now. Kaze with a flicker and Divine Judgment, locking Zing down for Septiawan to pick up the kill. Now Lanaya looking for some more. Detective forced to back away as the Mystic Field comes down from Z. Both teams disengaging. Who got the better trade there?
I'd say this is just DEWA United punishing CFU for going in a little too deep. That positioning by Zing was way too greedy. And I was just getting to the point of how Wadu, who wasn't even part of that whole engagement, is actually the one who's making the most bank. Look at this Uranus. He can do whatever he wants, walk up to wherever he needs to go, especially at 6 minutes and a half. This is amazing. This is lovely. You have a Dominance Ice and an Enchant Talisman already. This 2v1 up top, maybe now a 3v1 won't be a problem.
I mean, how do you kill Wadu at this point? 3-0-2, Purify, Consecration already. Lanaya with the War Axe certainly going to help him in his endeavor to go for the turtle here, but Flamesy, all he needs to do is tap one button, Phantom Execution, and wow, Lanaya, in the midst of it all, finds it and even gets out. No Divine Judgment punished from Flamesy.
Oh, I'd like to think that you kill Wadu via Dixon. Dixon just picked up an early... what is that?
Sea Halberd.
Sea Halberd, there you go. It's the anti-healing damage item, and I'd love to think that if they catch Wadu without his Purify, without his Consecration, or if they time that right, they find the window they can punish, and there's a wild charge!
On to Z, and Z will fall. The Divine Judgment rightly placed down by Keys. And Flamesy actually went for a very, very early Immortal, Leo.
Yep, that's...
First item.
Yeah, a build that was more popular in late 2020, early 2021, wherein you rush it and then you allow for that to kind of act like Masha's extra health bars. But I'd say that after this, after the Dreadnought armor, he also builds up into a fleeting time. But now that it looks like CFU Gaming, their tempo has been stalled, I'm wondering if that's going to be worth it now, if that's going to be paying off. Look at this. DEWA United pulling off their own little version of the Ube. They're all together down here, 4 members. Zing finds one, and oh!
Right on cue. Like you said, like you described with that Sea Halberd, they're able to utilize the anti-regen to completely destroy Wadu. And on top of that, it's also a big shutdown given over to DEWA United Esports, who is now just building on Septiawan. Once he gets that golden snap, that should be done in a bit, maybe 9 to 10 minutes. It's going to be massive.
Ooh, they're not letting go. A Detective finds one, and the flicker pull!
Good Divine Judgment onto Keys, who's going to be forced to flicker out, but a Dawning Light takes him down. Rice gets clapped by the Appraiser's Trap, but look at the muddles from Septiawan. Just barely almost getting Z down. Lanaya now needs to go for one more, and he finds it with Retribution. Oh, on to Zing! Now with another puncture. He has a Phantom Execution, but he utilizes it to escape. Lanaya with a double kill.
Ooh, signed, sealed, and delivered right underneath tier 2. With love, and that's going to open up this Lord. Detective knows that it's a losing battle. They are down 2 members. It's a 3v5, and I'm wondering if this is a contest that CFU are willing to take. Oh, they go for the turn.
Wild charge, Bloody Hunt, Septiawan dealing some damage. No Inspire though, so he can't burst anyone down. Flamesy getting hooked. Dixon with a flicker defensively right now as that's Lanaya jumping forward with a puncture. Septiawan in the midst, but look at Wadu. The Dawning Light connects onto Septiawan at very low HP, but it's still Lanaya who finds the retry. He's forced back. Mystic Field trying to lock him down, but he sidesteps away from that. But you cannot sidestep away from a Divine Judgment. 1 for 1.
Keys, a casualty here. Despite the Lord going over to DEWA, there's a hook!
Septiawan, 5 seconds on the Inspire. That's a good Nibiru's Passion. His own Septiawan away. Dawning Light as well! 1 HP, barely getting out of that skirmish.
Yep, second time in the past 2 minutes that DEWA United Esports walks away with their lives wherein they should have fallen. Amin Rise earlier with the help of the Rapid Boots, again, upon leaving combat. And Septiawan, just by building this base, this robe. The robe actually helped him survive the Dawning Light. So with that being said, DEWA United Esports are winning by inches. And slowly but surely, if they go in via this late game spike, they should be able to close the gap here and make this 500 gold lead matter even more. They've yet to push anything major here because even the waves have been managed well by CFU Gaming. And now this is going to cost CFU Gaming. They can pull out the Cambodian Ube. They can actually roam around, play together as 5, but that's going to cost them because I know DEWA United is not afraid to send Lanaya elsewhere. And now look, Conceal.
Okay, still with the puncture, able to escape. Flamesy has the flicker. Will not go for it. Takes him with a good disengage there, but will be immobilized and gunned down. That's a flicker! Divine Judgment finding Keys! Amin Rice looking for the disengage for DEWA, but he just pulls them forward, forcing himself to flicker. And CFU, they actually committed to chasing instead of going for that mid lane. This will definitely cost them.
Yep, there's the 2 for none. A big clap back by CFU, and yeah, they forgot that fat wave down bottom. That's what I'm talking about. It's not as free for CFU to say it's Uber time. It's not as easy for them to do because DEWA United have won over the map. They have an enhanced wave here via that first lord that they scored about a couple minutes ago. And now they're going to start taking away the purple. Oh no, Lanaya needs this. But at least you can say that Lanaya is eating well, sitting on top of the gold leaderboards. What does this build look like right now? Yeah, it's pure hybrid. Endless Battle, War Axe, plus the Thunderbelt and the Guardian's Helmet.
He's actually going for, I think, more damage. Maybe a last item BOD, which is quite interesting instead of the immortality we usually see.
Uh-oh.
5-man conceal grouping up right now. Rice going to be spotted. Septiao with the go away, but he's going to be free and in the back with his fire. Oh, the players will fall and melt down. Singh going to be targeted down by the assassin. Lanaya is on a killing spree as Dixon picks up the double. It's a hook almost predicted by Amin Rice. 3-4-0 once again for DEWA United.
That was tough. Not only was it as amazing as it gets for Septiawan. Oh, Flamesy's in trouble. Oh, all right. But also, I was just looking at Wadu. Wadu could have put in a couple of stacks of the Ionic Edge, and he just missed. There had to be a huge wall right in front of him. I'm pretty sure we'll see it in the highlights if we do play back. But right now, this is as free a lord as it gets for DEWA.
I don't think it can get freer than this, especially for the game that's been very close, literally toe-to-toe all the way to the 12th minute of the game. One mistake was all DEWA United needed for them to get control back in the game.
Yep, if anything, it was less of a mistake. Here's that instant replay, right? Check out how perfectly placed.
Ooh, look at that.
The explosions were, and check Wadu, right? He wants to finish the job. That's a lot of damage set onto DEWA, but he couldn't come through. And that led to, again, what I think DEWA was building up for anyways in the past couple of fights. Here they figured it out. Here the walls and the jungle was built for them.
All right. So aside from that as well, Lanaya, actually it's not going to be a last item BOD. It's a rose gold meteor. So there is a lot of respect given over as well to CFU Gaming with their magic damage, obviously from Z and Wadu with the Ionic Edge. We'll see how they utilize this though in the fight, because for now CFU is actually able to micromanage the mid wave a bit too well.
Yep, they have amazing, not even just high ground defense, but Savior as a battle mage, able to weave in and out of combat and just clear waves and then move along. Interesting. I wonder what Flamesy was thinking with that concealed play right there. It seemed like they all weren't ready for it.
A bit of miscommunication is happening, it seems like, when we're seeing what they're doing after that big team fight that DEWA United won. But what is interesting is the fact that Septiawan actually went for the Melted Roar as his fourth item, building towards a Haas Claws, I believe, for his final item. This means he's Glass Cannon. Very easy to target down, very easy to gun down for Zing. He needs to find the snipes, maybe perhaps onto the back line with Z. And I think one Daunting Light, one Renner's Apathy should be able to do it. You can see from the items again, full, just Glass Cannon.
Yep, I'm guessing that last item there is going to be a Haas Claws, and that'll make the difference. So this is a clear message from DEWA United Esports that, yeah, we don't want to pick any fights, at least for the next minute or so, up until Septiawan is ready. And Septiawan is a key member, a very important element in this cocktail that DEWA United are cooking up so that they can actually close the gap here. It's been a very close fight, to be honest. This is a small 3K gold lead, 12-12 here at 15 minutes. And look, see, this is the potential that Septiawan wants to reach up to. He is 16,000 gold, 16,000 damage rather ahead of Zing, and this is even after Zing has 3 solid frontliners. I don't think DEWA has that much. Right?
Good debut, man. It's a really good debut. Speaking of Septiawan, this is his first time ever playing with this roster. We've never seen him before, and so far in this very brutal game, he's managed to die 0 times.
Yep, we haven't seen his face.
No.
This is all skill speaking for himself here. So Septiawan, you are an amazing Melissa player, and all is on you right now. He still doesn't have that final item. Oh, Rise with the flicker in.
Unable to find anyone. Bloody Hunt onto Wadu, but instantly canceled by Detective. Still Seption free hitting in the back right now. Brazer's trap with the wall. Target to the back line. Zing is gonna fall. Flamesy with the Immortality Pop. Wadu getting slain as well in the back. Now Wadu and Flamesy grouping up together only for K's to pick up a double. And it's another over onto Z. Detective forced to recall 1v5. Can he do it?
It looks like it's endable. DEWA makes the call. We don't want the Lord. We want your base. And they're going to break on through mid. The penetration. It's just Detective.
Detective is down. DEWA United strike first in game number 1.
CFU wasn't ready for that engagement. They definitely saw an opening in the early flicker in by Amin Rice. But just the same, we felt the gold diff there. 16 minutes, 25 seconds in, we felt that CFU were outgunned. And in that moment, that split-second decision that DEWA said, you know what? We're ending this right here, right now.
Right here, right now. They didn't really give any chances back to CFU Gaming, and I think it was more of CFU as well letting go of their lead because they held on to that lead for quite a while. Their mid to late game composition, they bought time to get into that sweet spot, but they were unable to utilize it in the